Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. And coming up here, we're going to get into the latest around Derek Carr and trade rumors circulating around him because Albert Breer, NFL insider, chimed in a little bit, but I also reached out to a few of the people that I believe and trust. And I'm going to tell you what they had to say about it. So let's first talk about Derek Carr and is a trade going to end up going down. The report from Breer is that the trade market has not materialized outside of conceptual conversation. So, hearsay, essentially. If you live under a rock, then you probably do not know that the Raiders have until February 15th, which, I mean, it's coming up, man. It's really getting here a lot quicker than a lot of us like to believe to make a deal. So either the Raiders are going to trade Derek Carr before that day, or you have to end up just cutting him because, let's face it, he's already said his goodbyes. The team has to move on, and moving on from D.C., no matter what, is going to save you over $120.5 million. But when you see somebody like Breer say, really, there's not been a lot that's happened whatsoever, I'm going to show you exactly what Breer had to say in this quote. My understanding, as of right now, is the Raiders have not granted Carr's camp the ability to seek a trade. And even though there are aforementioned teams out there with needs, dealing him before the February 15th deadline, when his $32.9 million base for next year and $7.5 million of his 2024 money vests as fully guaranteed, won't be easy. And he absolutely won't be on the Raiders past that date. So there is the idea that teams that are interested in him should just wait for Las Vegas to cut him. So in terms of that, I hear what Breer is saying. And there are a lot of people out there that speculate of whether or not teams should just wait for Derek Carr to just get released. Hell, I put out a video a month ago about maybe the Raiders shouldn't trade Carr because they are taking a risk. But I'm going to ask every single one of y'all right now. I want you to hit that like button if you want the Raiders to trade Derek Carr. DC has done a lot of good, but if you are a Raiders fan, what is best for Las Vegas? Trading DC, saving extra money, getting extra draft capital. So if you put the Raiders above everything else, I do think they should hit that like button because trading Derek Carr will help out the Raiders. So even though Breer is bringing up his side, I am still going to confidently sit up here and say that a Derek Carr trade is 3 just-win babies. I know what Breer said, that it's just hearsay from right now, that the deadline is on February 15th. But there have been multiple other sources out there like Schefter, Ian Rappaport, other people that I trust inside of the building that have said, yeah, they would bet on their money moving on from Derek Carr in terms of a trade. So coming up here on the Raiders Report, I'm going to tell you what a very trusted source told me, and I'm also going to show you where there is smoke, there is fire, and I think I'm going to help calm down some of the nerves for the people that don't think a trade for Derek Carr is going to happen. Before I get into that, though, hey, man, I got to give love to our sponsors. They make our shows for free. So huge shout-out to Magic Spoon. And if you guys got a sweet tooth like me, I think you really got to go try out this cereal. The Raiders Report is brought to you by Magic Spoon, the revolutionary cereal that's changing the game. Say goodbye to sugary processed cereals and hello to delicious, nutritious options that will power you through your day. Magic Spoon is the perfect choice for anyone looking to start the new year off on the right foot. With a variety of flavors to choose from like cocoa, fruity, frosted, and peanut butter, you'll never get bored, and with only 140 calories per serving, it's a guilt-free breakfast option. But the best part, Magic Spoon is packed with 13 to 14 grams of protein and 0 grams of sugar, making it the perfect choice for those following a keto or gluten-free diet. And with 100% happiness guarantee, you have nothing to lose by giving it a try. Order your own personalized Magic Spoon variety pack today and save $5 by using code CHAT at magicspoon.com/chat. Or you can scan the QR code that you see up on the screen. Trust us, you won't regret it. Start your day off right with Magic Spoon. So, huge shout out to them, magicspoon.com/chat. And I'll also say this, I got a sweet tooth at night. I crush a lot of Magic Spoon boxes at night. I'm not going to lie to y'all. So here we go. According to the source, the Carr trade rumors are going to get hot this week. And why are they going to get hot this week? Well, there are some people out there, and I saw my guy Scout saying that, the CBA new rules, you can't really talking about moving on from players until after conference championship week. I did a little bit of digging. I tried to find out as much as I could on that. Couldn't find as much, but I have heard people say that before. The reason, though, why the rumors are really going to get heated up this week is because think about it. I know people talk, and people love to talk, and guess what? You're going to have owners and GMs in the same rooms talking basically this entire week. Why? Because many of those general managers and many of the owners of NFL teams are going to be at the Senior Bowl this entire week. Now, the game itself is on Saturday, but when you put a bunch of these people together, deals like this start going down. Dave Ziegler, he's going to be there the entire week. And then on top of that, the Pro Bowl is in a place, maybe you guys have heard of it, Las Vegas on February 5th. Bottom line, people who make deals, a lot of these people are going to be rubbing elbows together. They're going to be having a few drinks. Some conversations are going to be had. I know 2 years ago, Matthew Stafford was traded on, let's just say, January 30th. Oh, wait, that's today. I'm not saying a card trade is going to go down, but when big-time people start getting around each other, that's when deals do ultimately start to happen. Another thing that's going to help out this. Today, this is official. Now, if you followed the show before, because I put out projections of salary cap, Spotrac over the cap, they've been close, but they weren't exact. Today, according to Albert Breer, the NFL informed teams that the 2022 salary cap will be set at $224.8 million. He's basically saying 2023. Teams have been aggravated with the lack of clarity, and they normally get the cap range all the way back in December. So this is going to allow teams to, guess what, figure out how much money you're going to have moving forward. When you're dealing with a contract like Derek Carr's, that's 3 years, $120.5 million fully guaranteed, I would imagine the Raiders, for one, but also teams that are making the trade or debating on whether or not they're just going to wait until he is a free agent, they want to know what the hell the salary cap is. If you're investing that much money, you want to know the exact. And now we know the exact details. So whenever this trade does end up going down, or whenever the Raiders decide to move on from D.C., we will be going live. On top of that, last week we put out over 10 videos. I know Jeremy and we were live for literally over 8 hours yesterday. If you want your Raiders content and you want it for free, hit your subscribe button, turn on those notifications. We're going to be bringing you tons of stuff all season. Also, we're going to be live tomorrow. And our live shows on Tuesday, just going to say, I think they're pretty lit. More stories here, and this is, hopping back in the time machine a little bit. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm still trying to illustrate to all of y'all that I think a trade for Derek is going to go down. This is Ian Rappaport, again, all the way back on January 12th, so basically 3 weeks ago. The Raiders will begin the process of evaluating the trade market for quarterback Derek Carr as they prepare for a decision on their quarterback for the future. This points to the possibility of Carr, who holds a no-trade clause, will be part of the process leaving the organization. Remember, Rappaport put that out, and basically a few minutes later, Carr said his goodbye to the organization, okay? Ian Rappaport also said this, time is of the essence, which is why the Raiders are starting now. So the Raiders have started now. Earlier in the show, I talked about Breer. He said not much progress has been made because of what's going to be happening this week with the Senior Bowl, with the Pro Bowl being in Las Vegas, conference championship game being smushed at this point. You're seeing a lot more head coaches getting their certain jobs. The wheels will start to roll on conversations with Derek Carr. And now that the salary cap is set, I'm telling you, there's going to start being some smoke. Other reasons why I believe Carr ends up getting traded. It helps out D.C. And people could say what they want. I believe the most important thing right now for Derek Carr is him trying to get his money. He wants to win football games. We all play this game or whatever the hell they're doing. You do it to win games. But $40.4 million guaranteed, he gets that if he's traded. He also is going to get $33 million in 2023, and, again, that's kind of tied into the guarantees because it's $32.9 this year, and then essentially it's $7.5 million next year. And then Carr's also under contract until 2026. If D.C. believes that the Raiders were the reason why they weren't winning games and that he's actually a top 10 quarterback, being under contract for the next 3 years and making over $40 million in the next 2, I would imagine that that's something that he would like to be able to have. Here's the thing, though. If he's cut, Carr doesn't get the $40.4 million guaranteed. The Raiders can still save their money, and sure, DC still gets $5.63 million if he's cut, but last time I checked, that's a little bit less than $40 million. Will he get money on the open market? Yes. Is he going to be the top quarterback in the market? No, he's not going to be. I'm sorry. there is going to be other quarterbacks out there that are a higher priority than Derek Carr, Tom Brady being one of them. If Geno Smith hits the open market, there might be some people that pay Geno more than DC. Hell, there's going to be a guy named Lamar Jackson. That's a higher priority if Lamar doesn't end up going back to Baltimore. All I'm saying is, will there be teams interested in getting Carr if he hits the free agent market? Yes. But he's going to make more money if he's traded. And people are like, oh, but Mitch, if he's released, he can pick where he wants to go. That's 100% true, but that's also why he has the no-trade clause, right? Like, the no-trade clause is, Raiders, hey, Derek, we want to trade you to this team. Derek goes, no, that ain't going to happen. Oh, I guess you're not going to be able to trade him then. So he can still pick where he wants to go. The one thing that does put a little bit of chink in this Raiders trade armor with Derek is, I do know that DC wants to win. I mean, who wouldn't, right? You got a career record of 63-79. No playoff wins. The only thing that people have ever said about Derek is that he hasn't been able to win games. So if he does go to a team, but it takes draft capital to get him, that takes away from the new team that he's going to. So potentially, Carr could maybe talk to a team and say, hey, I want to end up signing with you. Don't trade for me. It's always a possibility. You just never know what's going to happen in the NFL. So here we go. I've asked this question 6, 7, maybe 100 times in the last month. I don't even know at this point. What's going to happen with Derek Carr? Do you think he's going to get traded? Type T for trade. Or do you believe he's going to get cut? I'm still going to go and type my T for trade down in the comments. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, we got some NFL news and rumors to hit. I figured a day after the Super Bowl, it's probably the right thing to do. But before I show you all of that, I have put out some videos around DC in terms of Derek Carr destinations. This one is on the Raiders Report channel. I also threw out some blockbuster Derek Carr trade ideas. If you like speculation, if you like seeing that kind of stuff, all I ask you to do is check out the video. I believe that you will really enjoy it. Also, those links are going to be available for you guys in the comments and in the description of today's video. So let's roll here. NFL news and rumors. Salary cap, $224.8 million. Set, finalized. Now the Raiders can start figuring out, all right, what free agents do we want to bring back? What type of guys could we potentially move on from? How much money are we going to have to spend? What are we going to do with Derek Carr? This is a good day. Good day. Other thing here, not really around the Raiders, but it does impact us because the AFC West. Chargers, they hired former Cowboys offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. He literally was relieved from his duties. Relieved from his duties yesterday, and now he's got a brand new job. I know Moore had his struggles at times with Dallas. This is a good hire. Y'all know that I'm a Kellen Moore fan, and the fact that he's going to go get to play with Justin Herbert essentially, that doesn't really sit well with me if I'm being real. Another move that I do think is going to end up going down sooner rather than later, DeMeco Ryans, the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. I believe he's going to be the next head coach for the Houston Texans, and the reason why this is really intriguing to me, there was a report last week that said that, hey, Derek could actually go down to Houston. If I was the Texans and I was going to take a young rookie quarterback like a Bryce Young, like a C.J. Stroud, I probably would go with somebody who's an offensive-minded coach. I saw that report. I bookmarked it. So all I'm saying is D.C. to Houston should not be slept on because of this DeMeco Ryans hire. That's all I'm going to say. And then the final thing, Super Bowl 57. I was really, really hoping, man, that we'd have an Eagles-Bengals Super Bowl. But you know what? At least it's not Chiefs and Niners. Hopefully, y'all tune in with Jeremy and I. We're going to be live for a Super Bowl 57 watch party. We had a hell of a time yesterday. Shout out to Tri-Van. Shout out to yesterday's MVP, Raiders podcast. Everyone that tuned in, it was an amazing time. But before I go, I want to know who you got. Chiefs, Eagles. Patrick Mahomes up against Jalen Hurts. Both of the number one seeds. Both of the top teams in the NFL the entire year. So let me know who you got. Chiefs, Eagles down in the comments. I'm going to stick with my prediction. Give me 31-28. Eagles win.